Okay, so welcome back. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a video. I think it's been over 2 weeks now. So it has been quite a while, been quite busy, and I've also been quite ill, as you might be able to tell in my voice. I've had just a really bad cold. And yeah, this is obviously affecting me uploading a video because I've been struggling with speaking, but it's one of those things. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's exactly why I wanted to come back with another video today. And as you can tell by the title and the format of this video, it's a bit of a different video today. I'm going to be talking about lifestyle design. And what I mean by this is you can pretty much design your life exactly how you want it to be. You don't have to follow the mainstream narratives that a lot of people do, just growing up in your small town and just working a normal job and kind of just being with someone in your local town and living happily ever after. For some people, that might be great, but I know for the vast majority of people, it doesn't really make them happy and fulfilled. So this is why I decided to put together some of the things that I want to go and achieve in my lifestyle and put together, and maybe it'll give you some type of inspiration. And like I say, just from a selfish point of view, I wanted to get out and make another video again, and I find this stuff really interesting, and these are the type of videos that I like to watch myself. And maybe if you're similar to me, hopefully you will kind of resonate with that and see that and maybe think, yeah, this would help me. Maybe I should plan my life a bit more this way and do things how I actually want to live my life instead of following maybe what other people want to do with their lives, because I know I did that a lot and I'll have the humility to admit that. And that's part of the process of life, but just taking some time to get that clarity over my vision and have a plan of action of how I'm going to attack my life and how I want to live my life made me feel very kind of fulfilled and satisfied inside, and something that I've never had throughout my life. I've very much gone through life and been like, this will do for now, this will do, go to college, uni, jobs that didn't really interest me, but it was kind of easy. And you know, it's a lot easier to do that than actually take some time away and kind of meditate on what you actually want to do with your life. So yeah, we'll get into this. And yeah, the first point I've made is you can create your own video character and lifestyle. And as you can see in the background, I've got Leonardo DiCaprio, and that's kind of the image that I've gone for with my look. You might look at me and you might not think I look nothing like him, and some people say I do, some people say I don't, you know, whatever. If I kind of have based my look off that, that's good enough for me. And there might be someone out there who you kind of think, yeah, I kind of like to look like that guy, kind of frame your look off this person. And a lot of people might think, oh, it's a bit cringe and like, oh, I just want to be myself, and you know, then fair enough. But I think it's quite good to, you know, see someone out there who might be quite famous and have like a certain style or kind of aura about them. You'd be like, yeah, I kind of want to maybe have their look or kind of have some of their personality traits, how they kind of conduct themselves professionally or just in a social manner. It might be something you could work with. And as I put, we can create our own video game character and lifestyle, with life being easier than ever before. Everything's more accessible for us, everything's more convenient than ever before, and with modern technology, people are living longer than ever, all the stuff out there, you can pretty much look how you really want to look. By no means am I saying you should change everything about you, you should change your face and get all this stuff done, because I definitely don't encourage that. I don't believe in anything like that. I don't think you should change all of that stuff, but you can obviously change, maybe, for example, your hairstyle. Something I did, maybe change growing some facial hair, changing your fashion, as we're going to get onto later in this video. Stuff like that I'd look into, and you know, your physique, stuff like that. And you can implement and learn till you realise who you truly want to become. This will probably take you time. And if you've never really done this before, and if you're really kind of unsure of who you are, who you want to become, this could be a few years process. It might take you that amount of time, because it probably has took me a few years over the periods from like 17, 18, when I was very insecure, not knowing who I wanted to become, not knowing what I wanted to kind of vision myself, frame, so to speak, of. I didn't have any of that, and I could have really have done with this type of advice when I was younger, because like I say, it's kind of gave me that satisfaction and clarity over my own vision. And the thing is that I take in my life, I like to use it a lot. And yeah, it gets me through very difficult moments, because at the end of the day, life is challenging. It's meant to be that way. And I don't think we would truly enjoy the good times of our life without the bad times. And I've had a lot of bad times, and particularly at a young age, and that's made me very grateful for the good times. And going through those tough times, and I've naturally, probably when I was younger, was quite pessimistic. I would naturally fear the worst. I naturally think, things aren't going to go the way that I really want them to. But then over the last year and a half, I've always kind of had that glass half full and fell in love with optimism. And that's something that I really think a lot of young people need to fall in love with, optimism, because I don't think there is a lot of optimism around these days. And it's such a shame to see, because there's a lot of people with a lot of potential out there and who could do great things, but I think a lot of people, particularly in the UK, lack that belief inside of themselves to go out there and truly chase their dreams and become that person and live that lifestyle that I really don't think is probably not that far away from you. I'll go through the points of, this is obviously based on my life, my lifestyle, and what I want to do. And I wouldn't want you just to copy this, and I don't think you would anyway. But take some time to, think where that would be for you. And the reality is, you probably are not like that a million miles away. And once you kind of see that, you're like, yeah, if I just keep chipping away each day, I'm slowly compounding, and I'm getting there, one day at a time. That's how you kind of have to look at life. You shouldn't be looking a million miles away. Obviously, you might have, some goals that might seem a long way, but I think once you start to put in the work for 2-3 years, you can really start to get closer to that lifestyle, that life, that person you want to become. Number 3, work. So work is a big one. And I don't just mean work as in, a 9-to-5 job or anything like that. I mean work you can do as in for the greater good. It might be charitable work. It could be, anything you kind of do that's kind of purposeful. So the first question that I would ask myself is, what do you want to do for work? Because unfortunately, a lot of people end up getting sucked down the rabbit hole of just going to work a 9-to-5 job that doesn't really do anything for them. And naturally, they become quite miserable. And this is not how a lot of people want to live their lives. And that's such a shame, because I see a lot of people with other interests, and I know they'd be a lot better suited in other roles, even if it was another 9-to-5 job or whatever it may be, even doing some kind of charitable work or working for some type of organisation. There's a lot of roles out there that people would be a lot more suitable if they kind of took that time to think, I'd be better off with my skill set, with my passions, with my beliefs to work this. Maybe a company has, a set of beliefs that you really resonate with, and a company that you're working with now really doesn't, and that's going to make you very miserable, and you're not in line with your own values and visions. And that's something that I would very much struggle to kind of deal with on a day-to-day basis. And where do you want to work? Because with the possibility of remote work and stuff, you can pretty much work anywhere in the world. Like, it doesn't have to be in your town. It could be somewhere else in the country. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It could be across the world. You could go and live in Australia and go work there if you wanted to. Take some time to think about that, and then we'll get on to other points that might make you kind of consider what is going to be a big factor on where you work. It might be something, for example, the weather, which is a big thing that I've, been in the UK today, very miserable day. The background, is very blurred, so you can't see, and I've got the curtain down, but it's raining as usual. And living somewhere where it's sunny has always been something that I have wanted to, have in my lifestyle. I've wanted to wake up and the sun's out, the birds are chirping, little things like that. Being able to go to the beach, going to the pool regularly is something that would appeal to me. So you should probably think about that. And, it might be very different to me. Like I say, purpose, money, fulfillment. You could align all three of these criteria and be very happy. That's the ultimate goal, isn't it, really? If you've got something that feels very purposeful, you're doing it for the greater good, you're helping people, I think that is purposeful. Any job that you're doing that that it's helping people is very purposeful. It's making you financially free, or at least able to, live a good lifestyle, live the lifestyle that you want to live. Because that's very different and subjective dependent on the person, the lifestyle that you want to live. Because for some people live a very modest lifestyle. I'm not into all the glitz and the glamour, the flashy cars, all the fancy jewelry, anything like that. But some people are, and it would take a lot more money for them to get to that lifestyle. And fulfillment, does it feel good inside of you? Because that's different for every single person. Like for me, recording these videos is fulfilling and it is purposeful. Does it make me money? No, not at the moment. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, yes, I get money through coaching sometimes, but recording this video now will make me 0 pence, not a penny at all. But it ticks 2 boxes and it makes me feel very good, particularly after this video. I will feel great. And, like I say, it's not just working a job. It can be like volunteering. It could be, I've got like a picture there of a man helping another man up a mountain or a hill. Something I'd quite like to do is climb Kilimanjaro, as you can see in the top left corner. I think that is Kilimanjaro. Something I would like to do, raise some money for a good cause. I haven't decided exactly what that cause will be, but definitely in the future that is something that I would like to do, and that is work again. Not your kind of conventional 9-to-5 work, but it's still work. Work now, relax later. So this is something that I have definitely over the last year or so thought about a lot. I think your 20s, I speak about this a lot. Don't waste your 20s, building your foundations in your 20s, blah, blah, blah. If you've watched my channel for a while, you would have seen that I believe your 20s is a critical time. It shapes the rest of your life. If you put in the work now, you can have a very, very good lifestyle in your 30s, 40s and beyond. So I always encourage you to do as much work, particularly if it's a job and it can build you financial success and make you financially free for the rest of your life. Then why not do it in your 20s? Because I say to people, I have more time in my life now than ever before. Even when I was younger, when I was a kid, I would obviously be at school 5 days a week, and then I'd probably have extracurriculum activities. I'd be playing sports, playing football on a Sunday, training, and then I'd probably be doing, like, it's a bit sad, but I probably would be doing more with my family than I am now. So I have all the time in the world, really. I have so much more time. And it does annoy me when, especially younger people my age, say, I don't have time for the gym, I don't have time to, start a YouTube channel, I don't have time to kind of work on something on the side, when we have more time than ever. And if you don't think you have time now, then when you have kids and when you have a partner and when you have, family members that, we don't like to think about it, but become ill, especially when they get older, like I've already seen it in my life, your time is eaten away. And, I think you should, especially when if you're living at home and, you've not got really any commitments with your family, you're single, you don't have kids, then you've got so much time to just work, really. And when you kind of cut out the distractions that I mentioned heavily on this channel, then what else is there left to do? Obviously, have fun. I definitely think you should. But you have so much time, then why not just save your money as much as you possibly can and really just, work towards something that's purposeful, whether it be a job for you and then working something on the side and building that up to eventually that can take over and become your full-time job and income. Then I think that's a very good way to pursue your 20s. And if you're younger than me, if you're teen, early 20s, then I would definitely encourage that. But again, it's up to you about, what you want to pursue in terms of work. And appearance, so obviously I kind of briefly touched about this in the first slide, kind of framing yourself, but this is more kind of like your fashion style. So what type of clothes do you want to wear? As you can see in the pictures, I quite like wearing like quarter zips and like shirts, kind of more of a retro look. So that's kind of my style more often. Yes, right now I'm wearing a t-shirt, as you can probably see, and I'm more than happy in a t-shirt and shorts too. But if I was to go out for a social occasion, go out for a meal, go somewhere nice, I'd probably wear these types of clothing. And a lot of people don't really consider these types of things when they're such basic things. Like, how do you want to present yourself? And I think it's very important, like hair, accessories, the hygiene, when I mean like just smelling good, being clean, wearing clean clothes, how you like groom yourself, stuff like this. It can make such a big difference. Particularly, you know, if you're a younger guy, the dating market is not great, is it? At all, we all know this. And if you're looking to attract a woman into your life, or if you're a girl who's trying to attract a man into their life, or whatever it is for you, then I think it's massive. I think you have to, you know, present yourself in a certain way and look as best as you can, especially when you're out in the public, because you never know who you're going to meet, even at the gym, you know. Look a certain way, wear clothes that, you know, fit you quite well, suit your style, hairstyles as well. Like, for me, having the curtains, not looking the best today, you know, but I'm not out at the moment. That's kind of the hairstyle that I've gone with for the last maybe 2 to 3 years now. And before that, I'd kind of fluctuate between different hairstyles and not really know what worked for me. And what works for you is probably going to be very different to me. Maybe like a buzz cut works better for you, longer hair, you know, there's so many different hairstyles out there. You have to kind of take time again, as I mentioned previously, and see what works for you, because, you know, it takes time to find that. And the same with accessories, like a watch, like chains, you know, sunglasses, as you can see there. You know, there's a lot of different things that you might not want to wear any. Maybe it's not for you at all, but, you know, they can make a big difference, and that's something that you'd like to have on you. Then, yeah, I think it's something that can make you stand out and suit some people a lot more than other people. So physique, this is something that, you know, I'm very proud of the body that I've built over the last few years. I've been going to the gym just under 3 years now. And I want to make a video very soon about kind of everything that I've learned. So if you're someone who's just starting, I think that video will be very good for you. So keep an eye out for that. But when you look in the mirror, what do you want to see? Not what does social media tell you, you know, this is what you should see. And obviously I put 3 pictures up on the screen here where you'd probably think, yeah, that's very kind of like Instagram kind of physique, but for me, that's the physique that I'm going for. And like I said, in that optimistic view, I don't think I'm that far off it whatsoever. I've got quite a good physique, quite similar to that. I could probably just, you know, if I had a bit more of a tan and cut down like probably 2 to 4% body fat, then I would probably be somewhat around that, maybe a slight bit more muscle, then I would be about at that level. But where do you want to go? Do you want to be more like kind of the health orientated, where, you know, you're going to be more kind of flexible as you get older, you focus more on cardio more than just like resistance training? Or are you going to go down to just a strength, kind of the power lifter, being the biggest guy in the room? Or like I've kind of gone down more the kind of aesthetics, obviously very strong guys, and I can lift a pretty good amount of weight at the gym, but it's more kind of for aesthetics than anything else. I would say what I've kind of based my physique around, that's what I've gone for. And the final point is very important. You must be willing to sacrifice one way or another. So if you want to build a physique like this, if you want to become massive, if you want to become the healthiest guy in the room who can run 10 kilometers with ease, then you're going to have to sacrifice the donuts. You're going to have to sacrifice, you know, takeaways and just the stuff that people see as pleasures in life. Obviously, am I saying, can you never have this stuff? Obviously not, because I still indulge in this stuff occasionally. But if that's kind of your regular diet, you're not going to achieve a physique like this on the screen. I don't care what other people tell you. It might work in the short term. If you're very young, you can have a pretty shitty diet. You can drink a lot of alcohol, you can sleep poorly, and you could still probably have a 6-pack if you have pretty good genetics. That's just how it is when you're younger. But in the long run, if you're trying to build this body, particularly as you get older, it's just not going to happen if you're just eating junk food all the time. So if you're happy, if you like really enjoy that type of food and you're not bothered about this physique, then that's fine. You can eat all of that stuff as much as you want, but you won't be looking like this, and you have to be okay with that. But if you want to look like this, you've got to be okay with not eating all that food all the time. It's one way or another, and that's how it is just through life. you could look at relationships. If you want to be with one person, then and build something special with that person, you can't be with other people. You can't, consider anyone else. And if you're gonna, do the opposite, then you got to be okay that you're not gonna have like one person who truly loves you, and you're probably not gonna get that same satisfaction and fulfillment in your love life. And the final one, obviously, I mentioned with remote working is location. So do you want to have a base? Because in the world we're living in now, I don't think it is crucial to have like a base at all. It depends on your lifestyle, and if you work in one place, then yes, you're going to need a base. But obviously a lot of remote jobs, people becoming kind of digital nomads, the kind of rise of Airbnbs. A lot of people were traveling the world, staying in Airbnb, moving on from place to place. A lot of people can go to 4, 5, 6 different countries in the space of a month. So, that lifestyle is available to you if that's what you want to go down. That's what I considered at the start of my journey when I started YouTube. I thought, I could be on my laptop and in Thailand and these places that are really cheap, South Africa, working from a laptop. But I kind of, was a bit naive thinking that, and took some time to think about what I truly wanted. And I thought, that's probably not going to be what's going to make me truly satisfied in the long term. But what matters to you when it comes to where you live? As I mentioned, for me, being somewhere where it's like quite sunny and, waking up to that, or it might be the people, the kind of culture, the people you're around. For me, being English spoken growing up, I would want to live somewhere always where they probably would speak English. I mean, as I've kind of got on the screen here, the top 2 places are Valencia, and I think the other one might be Marbella, and that's something that I'm considering. But I think they are very kind of English spoken places. Spain is very English orientated, but you could live anywhere in the world now with remote jobs being accessible to anyone, really. If you wanted to work a remote job, you could definitely find one today. Like, there's so many out there, and it's just changed. The world has changed very much since COVID. People aren't working in the office. Yes, it's probably kind of swung a bit more the other way. People are coming back into the offices, but there's definitely opportunities out there if that's the lifestyle that you want to live. And you have to realize that you have to, if you want it, you can. You can't have these kind of limiting beliefs that hold you back and be like, oh yeah, but there's not jobs. There is. Like, you have to. There'll be someone who would employ you to work a remote job in, Thailand, Asia, Africa, South America, wherever you want to live in the world. But just going back, as you see on the screen, I mentioned Valencia, Marbella, kind of 2 places in Spain, and then you can see at the bottom kind of the country, rural in the UK. So that's something that I have kind of combined, and something that I look for the future as maybe where, I could have a base in England, not too far from where I live now. There's a lot of countryside. So yeah, that's something that I would definitely consider. I'm not saying it's going to be that forever. You can come back in 10 years and be like, oh, you don't live this lifestyle at all now. But I always say, have a plan and work towards it. And then if it changes, modify it and then go from there. But having a plan now, this is based off me at 22, almost 23, on the 1st of March 2024. And yeah, so as mentioned, house in the UK, and then maybe, having a holiday home in somewhere like Valencia, Marbella would be pretty cool. When the weather, isn't the best here, being able to go out to Spain and living there when it's sunny in the winter, and then coming back to the UK more in the summer, definitely something that I could see myself doing. As I mentioned, I'd prefer to be somewhere where I speak English, but I think learning Spanish is something that I would want to do, and it'd be another skill, and it would help you a lot. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't actually. I think as English people, we are quite naive, so it's something that we should learn, because I feel quite rude going to Spain. But anyway, that's enough of me kind of rambling on about that. And yeah, I hope this has been a good video for you, and it's maybe got you thinking a bit about what you want to do with your life, your lifestyle design. How do you want to design it? Where do you want to live? how do you want it to look? What do you want to do for work? How do you want to present yourself, frame yourself? Because I truly believe that you could just completely change your lifestyle of how it is currently and be anywhere in the world, could be a completely different person. It's kind of like, if you look at like GTA, you can pretty much just, change that person. You can go into the barbers and come out and look a completely different person. You can have this house here, you can have this car, you could live that lifestyle, but take some time. Hopefully this video has helped you. My one-to-one coaching link, that's still going to be below. As I say, I'm quite busy. I'm going to try and get a video out every single week, once a week probably. So that'll be below. Like and subscribe. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Take care.